guys, welcome back to the Jasmine Show, and if you're new here, welcome. Today I'm back with another video, and as you can see in the title, this is going to be a modeling Q&A. So I was a model. I say was because I'm on a little break right now. I'm not sure if I'm going to return with it or not. The only reason why I'm on a little break is because I'm about to start college soon, and I really want my main focus to be on that. So yeah, but that doesn't mean I don't know about modeling because I have some experience with it. So without further ado, let's just get this video popping. So if you don't mind, okay, if y'all didn't know, I'm a diabetic and my blood sugar is low right now. So I got me some pizza, some little mini pizza to eat. So I'm just gonna, I guess this is kind of a mukbang too, so I'm just gonna be, you know, nibbling on that here and there. Gotta make the blood sugar stays intact. Okay. I don't want you guys to see me chew, but mukbangs chew all the time. But, okay. So the first question is, how much do I make after each show / photo shoot? So it really depends. After a show or a photo shoot, normally it's like $15. Sometimes you don't get paid because I know the only show I've never gotten paid for is the Angels of Life show, and I've done that I think 3 or 4 times, and it's a show where models model clothes, and the people that run the show are doing bids off of stuff, and the money that they get, they raise or they give to foundations for liver and heart transplants, and then people tell their stories about them getting liver, heart, any type of like transplant like that, and it's so moving. And I'm honestly, like, I get so happy when I get to do that show because it's helping people in the long run. And like, you don't even get mad that you don't get paid. I don't care that I don't get paid for that show because that show is amazing. It's heartfelt, and it really gets your emotions going. It really makes you really thankful for life, like really thankful. And it's not just adults. There's adults who come, and the stories about a child of theirs who's had to have a transplant. So it's really emotional, but it is a great show, hands down, great show. All right, next question. What are some good poses? So personally, I think, and I'm pretty sure any other models or model agents would say, or the photographers would say, that any pose that makes you look lean and tall, so it gives the effect on the camera that, okay, this person is like, I don't know how to describe it, kind of like, not thin, but like you're lean, you're in shape, and your height is there. Like, there's a tall height. Like, the height conversation is one of the topics that I will get to, but most of the good poses are standing up straight, make sure your posture is good, and you look lean. So like photos, like poses that will make you look tall, and if you're a girl, elegant, and just like you want to be like a beautiful tree, just stretch out, stretch all of it out, or whatever the photographer gives you. Some photographers give pointers, some don't, you know, ways you could work with that, because not all photographers are nice to give pointers. If you're a little bit camera shy, you can work in the mirror. A little exercise that I learned when I was a little bit younger, doing like when I was kind of first getting into it, was like stand in the mirror and just be like, one, pose, and every time I said pose, I just came up with another pose, acting like, okay, a photographer is taking pictures and I need to change it up. So that's like a little exercise you could do if you're a little camera shy. We've all been there before. This is good. I feel weird eating on camera, but I gotta do what I gotta do. Alright, So the next question is, when did I start modeling? I started modeling when I was 7. So yeah, pretty long time, because I'm now 18. So, you know, I would say I have a lot of experience with it. So the next question is, how tall do you have to be? That's kind of, I don't know. I want to say it's tricky, but at the same time, it's not. Because the shortest I've ever seen somebody, I want to say is like 5'6", and she wears like, maybe it's like, I know that's the height for girls, like 5'6", 5'7", and you just wear like tall heels. So like 5'6", you could wear heels that make you like 5'8", or 6 foot. There's heels like that. I'm 5'8". Yeah, I'm 5'8". So when I wear heels, I normally wear 2-inch heels, or sometimes I really like 1-inch heels, because the 2-inch heels are kind of, those are bad boys, are tough. But yeah. So for the guys, I've only seen guys who are like 6 foot something. I've never seen a guy shorter than that modeling. Maybe there is one, but I've never seen one. But honestly, I think too, it's all a part of the agency, like what they're looking for in height. So it's really up to them, I'm pretty sure. Okay. So the next question is, what are some of my, I hate doing this with a mouthful. What are some of my favorite pictures? So some of my favorite pictures, I'll leave them on the next slide over so y'all can see them. So those are some of my favorite pictures. That one was kind of tricky because I have quite a few, but I just picked a little bit because I don't want the video to just be like revolved around that. So moving on, do I get to keep the clothes is the next question, and the answer to it is no. Just because I model it doesn't mean I get to keep it, although some of the clothes would be really, really cute and I could have bought it, but I really think if the only way I could take it home is if I bought it. So no, don't get to keep the clothes unless you are willing to buy it. I don't get it for free just because it was on my body. You know, I wish sometimes, because some of those outfits are really cute, but you know, at least they got to be on my body for a few hours. So the next question is, why and how did I get into modeling? So the why is, it really was just like a hobby. It was just, you know, using what I know, I guess. My parents both modeled. It's not how they met, but my mom, during her college and like grown like 20s, I think, she was a model, and then my dad like modeled a little bit, and I guess like you could say it's in my blood, in my genes, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, and the how is, so as I said, I was 7 when I first started, and this was when I was living in Savannah, Georgia, and I went to Belk with my mom, and without knowing that this fashion show was going on for like back to school or something like that, and this woman comes up to my mom and she's just like, will your daughter like be in this show? Like, will she like to do it? And I'm just in there like, what? I'm 7 years old. You want me in a show? Like, what is going on? I was so confused. So my mom was like, yes, like, of course. But she asked me, like, before, like, she was like, are you comfortable with this? And I was like, you know, whatever, like, we're not doing anything else, it's back to school. So they basically put me in a fitting room with, like, school uniform and a book bag, and I wish I still had the photos, but I do not, and neither does my mom. But yeah, and I basically modeled in the store for a lot of people. I guess it was like, it really was a fashion show, like, people were sitting there, and I didn't know that an agent was sitting there. And so an agent came up to my mom and was like, you know, you should really do this agency, it's really great, and like, she really has potential, stuff like that. And I was like, you know, I'd give it a shot. And it was Halo Modeling Agency in Savannah. The owner of it is Stephanie, and she's just, you know, she was amazing. She was a great teacher. Her workshop classes were so good for beginners like me, and I really did learn a lot from her, and I'm very thankful for her, because that was my first agency. Now, I never had a contract with them, but that was my first agency that I worked with. Now, the thing that was kind of bothering me in Savannah was Savannah is a place where it's not really a lot of fashion shows. It's a lot of like film going on. People shoot movies there sometimes. So it wasn't really runway, and my thing is runway. I don't really like commercials. I don't really like memorizing lines. I don't like that. I like to just put the outfit on, get on that stage, and work it, period. So yeah, but that's how I got into modeling, and from there I went to New York twice. I went to New York Fashion Week. I didn't get to be in it because I was so young, but I was there, and it was really amazing, and it was really something at the time that I was like, whoa, this could really be a career for me. So that's the why and how. Moving on, what's my favorite modeling experience? My favorite modeling experience would have to be when I was in the Cynthia Bailey show. If you don't know Cynthia Bailey is a part of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and she has this show basically to scout out teens that she wants. So my first year of doing it, I got to meet her, I took pictures, and I could see if I can find it. If I can't find it, then I'm gonna be bummed, but you'll know because it won't be in this video. But that was one of my favorite experiences, because when they were drawing up winners, I got second runner-up. So it wasn't first, but at least I got second runner-up, and I felt proud of myself. So yeah, I felt really proud of myself. That was a good modeling experience that made me feel good inside, that like, wow, I did this. Like, Jasmine did this, you know? So yeah. And the next one is, what's a funny and embarrassing experience I've had? Lordy. One of the funny experiences I've had, I think, is when I didn't really think it was funny then, but like now that I think about it, it's funny now. I actually have two, funny and embarrassing. So I was called to go to this place to wear clothes and like model shoes, like stuff like that. It was normal, like I normally got calls like that. I don't remember the place, but when I went there, I told the lady my shoe size. Like, then I told her my shoe size, which is a 9, and she gave me a 6, and I was like, I'm a 9. So then she's like, oh, okay, and went to a 5. So I was like, no, I'm a 9. So then she came back with the 6, and I was just like, do you not have 9s? And she was like, no, we don't have 9s, making me feel abnormal, like nobody has size feet like me. Like, I was like, ugh, really? But I had to walk in them and literally have to like stick my feet like in there. My toes were like this. So I'm walking and I'm like, literally, my mom was watching from the window. I wish she would have recorded, but I knew it was messed up. Like, I literally was walking like my feet were hurting, and they were. Like, I couldn't even, it was one of those where like you can't even hide it. Like, it's impossible to hide. So when I like about faced and I turned around, I go, I'm sorry, I can't do this. And I like kicked the heels off and like went back and like got out of the dress. And he was like, you know, and then one of the guys, like guy agents, were like, you know, yeah, you know what, we can see that if you can't walk in heels, you can't walk in heels. And I didn't say anything because at that point I'm just like, one, I'm over it, I'm ready to go home because I totally embarrassed myself in front of other models. Two, I didn't want to lose my contract by talking back and like giving me a bad name, like, oh, she got an attitude, oh, she's sassy, whatever, she got lip. So I just like ignored it, let it go in and out. But I was just like, oh, I can walk in heels, but in heels that I can literally wear, not that I can try to force my toes in there. No. I was like, it was a mess. Hot mess express. That's what it was. But an embarrassing, another one would be, I got called to do like, you know those like commercials where like you have a Coke, the person has a Coke and like they open it and drink it. Yeah. So I was getting called for one of those. I hate commercials, like I said, but the good thing is you didn't have to talk. Somebody else was talking. And I was like, I literally was stressing in the car. Like, I didn't know, but I knew it was like for Coke. I didn't know like what you would have to do. But I was sitting in the car with my mom and I was like, I don't know what I would do if they're like, can you open the can? Because I have acrylics. And so since it was a commercial or whatever, and like you're showing your hands, I didn't want my hands to be ugly looking on camera, so I got acrylics. So my mom was like, I don't think they'll make you do that. I don't think they'll like do that to you. So I go in and I literally sit down and they call my name. I go back there, I introduce myself, and the man tells me after I'm done with my slate that to open the Coke. And so I'm sitting there and I'm literally like fidgeting with it on camera. Like, the man is still rolling. So I was like, are we gonna cut this? And he was like, no, bloopers are good. We're gonna keep it. Can you not open it? I literally sat there. It felt like an hour. Like, it felt like forever, but it had to be like 6 minutes until the man was just like, okay, thank you. And like totally dismissed me. And so I went out and my mom was like, that was fast. How was it? And I was like, I bombed it. Like, I literally was stressing in the car that they're gonna make me open it, and they tried to make me open it and it just would not work. My acrylics would not let me be great. So those are some funny, embarrassing experiences I've had. They weren't funny then, but now that I look back on it, they are. Okay, so the next topic is, do I have a special diet? Not right now. Not even when I was a model, really. It really was just, you know, I wasn't one of those types that are crazy, like, don't eat bread, you can't have the, oh no, I'm eating bread. And one, I have to have carbs. Like, I have to have protein, I have to all of that because I'm a diabetic. So, no, I didn't have a special diet. I did like normal, drink water, eat my fruit, exercise a lot. So no, I did not have a special diet. Some models do. It all depends on the agency with that. If that's what you are willing to do and that's part of your contract, then you gotta do it. But I did not. So the next topic is, was there any special requirements? So, the only special requirements were, if I come in for like a photo shoot, I can't have acrylics. Gotta just have like clear nail polish. Or if I do have acrylic, it needs to be like French tip. Like something that is not too like bold, like white. Even though white isn't even that really bold, but in the modern world it is like that in photos, because it doesn't really go with anything like you wear sometimes. Like you don't know what they're gonna put on you, so it's best to just have like no polish or French tip. So since I wear weave sometimes, normally I would come with weave and I would tell them, okay, I have weave, and like, how are we gonna do this? Should I take it out or keep it in? Sometimes they let me keep it in, sometimes they want it out. So that's a little iffy sometimes. No weave, sometimes weave. Fresh face. If you know you're going in for a photo shoot or commercial, whatever, fresh face, no makeup at all. You can moisturize, but probably not even that. I can't remember if I moisturized or not. I think sometimes I did. And they put alcohol on your face anyway to wipe it off. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I just don't like walking around with my face like cracking and itching and stuff. No. So, I would say those are like the special requirements. Nothing major. Oh, you know what? Actually, I got another one. I was constantly getting weighed and like measurements, just because one, to make sure I'm keeping up with the exercise, that like staying in shape, and just seeing if the clothes that I brought, sometimes I would bring my own clothes, if sometimes my own clothes would be kind of weird, or not kind of weird, but just like didn't match like the lighting or didn't look right on me for in their image, so they would put me in their clothes. So yeah, that's about it. Yeah. So the next one is, how does an interview normally go and how did mine go? So an interview normally goes, I'm guessing it depends on the agency, but with the agency that I had, it was, you go in, you have your comp card, which is like a 3-picture layout with your name, your height, your age, your eye color, your hair color, your measurements, stuff like that. And so they you don't really have to talk to them, but like they know your information right off the bat. So you go in, you give them that, they tell you to walk for them, you walk once down the hallway maybe and walk back towards them, and then, you know, they have a talk with you one-on-one. Sometimes if they see potential in you, maybe sometimes they just want to have a conversation with you, depends on the agency, and then, you know, they'll say thank you and we'll call you if we're interested, and then you leave. But my interview just kind of went like that, except I went there with my comp card, I walked for them, and they said they wanted to talk to me. So I was thinking, oh, this is a good sign, this is great. But I was nervous because I've never talked to somebody before without my mom like that. So my mom's kind of like my, what do I say, momager or agent. She was like my agent, and my mom like always like check in and make sure they're not doing anything they're not supposed to with me, stuff like that. And so they were like, yeah, without your mom. So I think now that when I look back on it, it was a great growth process, because I had to realize that my mom would not be with me all the time with things like that, especially if I wanted this to be a career for me one day. So they talked to me, and the first thing she said was like, normally we don't give contracts on the first day. We just want to know like what you're interested in. Is it fashion? Is it runway, commercial, stuff like what's your forte? And after we were done with that, and what's my experience, after we were done talking, they said thank you and we'll call you if we are interested. And literally I was in the car on my way home and they called and were like, I know we said we don't give contracts on the first day, but like we have to give you a contract right now. Like, we love you. We talked to like our head agent and like she is in love with you. And I was like, dang, like I got it like that. Like, I impressed y'all like that. I was hyped. And my gift for that was I was getting a new phone too. Like, I remember like it was yesterday. I was begging my mom for a new phone. I nailed it. And she was like, we're going to the AT&T store right now. I got that new phone on deck. Like, I was like, dang, that's all I had to do. Shoot, that was nothing. But it was something because I was nerve-wracked. Like, I did not know that that's what they were going to do. And from then on, it was greatness evolving. But yeah. The rest is history. Next question. Have I ever felt intimidated by others? No. I mean, it's like, I'm just playing. But no, I have not felt intimidated because the type of person I am when I'm in another room with other models, one, I'm human just like them. I have a contract just like them, so we're not much different. The only thing probably that is different would be our personality and our race. Other than that, I really don't feel intimidated. If somebody else is going on the runway, I don't really talk to a lot of people. I'm kind of a headphone type of person. I'm trying to get my head in the game, get focused. Crunching on like if I need to fix any mistakes. I practice backstage. See how my heels feel. Even though I like fill them in the night before, I still like to have a feel of like, okay, because I bring extra shoes with me all the time. Okay, do I need to switch them? Do I need to put the I don't know what they're called. They're like stick pads in there so my feet like don't slide. And so and if you're on stage like and you're with me and like we're like running a practice or whatever, I watch to see, maybe not learn, but I don't know. I just feel like watching for me is just something to be like, okay, she does the same things I do, and that's like normal. Or I just watch just to be like, okay, let me hear their critiques on like what they're critiquing other people on, so I know not to do it. Because maybe it's something that I commonly do, and like other people do it. So yeah, I'm more of a headphone. I don't really talk a lot. I kind of vibe out and I just focus. And if you're on stage, I watch you until it's my turn. Then I kill it. Period. I say that a lot, but yeah, I just watch and observe and rock the show. Oh, I can't even snap at that. But the next one is, how do I handle rejection? My first rejection, I can't remember like when it was, but I do remember like my first rejection, and I kind of felt bad, but at the same time, I just looked at it, and even as a young girl, I can say so myself, and a lot of other people can say so that have known me since I was young, that I was mature for my age, and I didn't really feel as bad because I took it as if a door closes, then a greater door is made to be opened. So if that door closes, God is just setting something bigger and better for me. So I just took it with a grain of salt and just was like, hey, if they didn't like me, they're lost. So yeah. And like that's another thing too. I really feel like modeling boosted my confidence even more. Like modeling made me feel like, okay, people see my beauty as like I see my beauty. People see my style how I see my style. People see like, just my vibe, how I vibe. So it was really, yeah, that was really how I handled rejection. So the next question would be favorite thing about modeling. I think I already said it. My favorite thing about modeling was, boosting my confidence. It really made me feel even more beautiful, and even made me feel even more confident in the fact that people like this. People love this too. People love seeing me on stage. They love seeing me model their clothes. They love doing my makeup. They love doing my hair, and I loved it. I loved being pampered. I loved it. Those early mornings, however, I didn't love, but I loved being pampered. It was really good. You felt wanted and needed. Those are the words. But yeah, that's my favorite. So the next one is, do I miss it? Sometimes I miss it, sometimes I don't. It really depends. I mean, I can't help but to miss it because, I've been doing it since I was 7. So for a while, that was all I was used to. But then I grew up, and I'm still growing up, and I got more busy, and I was just like, stuff is more important right now than just a hobby for me. Because at that point, when I reached like 13, I kind of already knew, okay, I don't want a career in this. Ever since I was 7, I've always said I wanted to be an attorney. So that little modeling is gonna be my career thing was like out the window. Like when I reached 13, like it was like when I reached 13, well, let me say this. When I was 7, like I was in love with modeling just because I was young and I got a lot of attention. Like, oh, she's so pretty. Oh, she's so cute. Get in this clothes. Get in that. Any 7-year-old girl would love that. And then as I got older, I was just like, I'm not in love with it anymore. But I love it. But I don't have that same passion, that same drive for it. It doesn't like move me the same. And that's normal for a hobby. So that's how I knew like this is not going to be a career for me. And I didn't feel sad about it because like I said, I knew I've always wanted to be an attorney. So, it was just like a nice hobby, good while it lasted. Paid good too. So, and I also made some good friendships. That's what I would say too. So the next one is, how long is a contract? So a contract, it really depends on the agency. My contract was 3 years, and I used all my 3 years, and then I left. I didn't renew it. You have a choice to renew it. I'm sure that's like all agencies, but yeah, I had a choice to renew it, but I didn't because I knew I was gonna, be donezo. But the last question is, what agency did or do I model for? I did model for a Halo model agency, like I said, in Savannah. And I also did BMG. So, and BMG is in more than one location. I definitely don't want to say which location I did because if you don't know me, I don't want to displace where I live. So, yeah. So, that was the last question. Wow, okay. I said it, but then I didn't really realize till I read the page. That's the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. I thank everyone for these great questions. I hope I helped somebody who wanted to get into modeling. And if you do, I wish you the best of luck. You got this. I'm sending you all positive vibes and confidence. And hope you like it, comment, and subscribe. And I'm not sure what my next video will be, but I will keep you guys updated. So, thank you again. Make sure you hit that notification bell to make sure that you don't miss any of my videos. And I'm out.